From the Black Swan Media Studios, deep inside a secret underground bunker, we're speaking to freedom-loving patriots from all around the country and the world. Welcome to the Resistance. This is John Crump, live.
And we are live and in charge out there, whatever you want to say. And we are ready to rock and roll with some of the best guests I've ever had on this show. One, the Drinking Water Banshee, who is currently muted and we cannot hear.
Yeah, I prefer to speak on mute. That way I don't say something stupid.
Oh, okay. That'll work. Probably a good idea.
What's
Probably
going on, John?
pass that secret on to Rich. He might need it a little bit.
Yeah. Been a long time, man.
Yeah, it has been a long time. And we are also live on the Firearms Radio Network. Not live, but recorded on the Firearms Radio Network. And I want to bring on the other guest of the hour. He is a fitness model and also a marathon runner. The one, the only, Tony Simon.
Hello, everyone. Nice to be on again. I thought I was banned for some reason just because I show up and you get demonetized. I thought you wanted to get paid for your videos.
Yeah, I'm not even monetizing my video today, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and hey, man, look, welcome to the Firearms Radio Network. I'll be the last one to probably say it.
Yeah, we've been on the Firearms Radio Network for like a year.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, I couldn't be the first one to say it, so I'll probably be the last one. Get in when you get in.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're on the Firearms Radio Network too.
Yeah, I've been on the Firearms Radio Network since 2015.
That's a long ass time.
Yep, been doing a weekly show. We probably have missed maybe 2 weeks in that time period.
You do a podcast?
Which podcast? I was like, I do 3. Actually 4 if you count G-Webs every Saturday with Clover.
Yeah. All right. Well, how are you doing, Big Tony?
Dude, finding a house has stressed me out. I stopped looking about 6 months ago because, everybody's saying the bubble's gonna pop. Yeah, that bubble ain't going nowhere. So we're about to just launch it again and pay way too high of an interest rate and start looking again. It's just going to be what it is with a very good credit score. And I'm still going to pay a high interest rate regardless.
I know it's ridiculous, right?
Yeah. We worked really hard, making sure our credit rating was high before we didn't plan on purchasing the house at this time, but fine. We worked and got our credit rating up and doing all the right things. And you show up and have a VA loan secured and everything, and still people are paying $20,000 to $30,000 over asking price.
Yeah, Joe Biden saying that's not a big deal.
Yeah, but he probably didn't know what he was talking about. So
yeah, hear something really funny.
He didn't actually say it. Someone told him to say it.
You know what's really, really funny? I've been leaving DLD After Dark backstage, and he's just been like sitting there, I think, trying to get my attention.
That's wrong.
I'm doing it on purpose. Goombeam's out there. Goombeam makes some freaking badass flash.
6 minutes. 6 minutes.
Hold on.
Man, he let me in before you, Dark. That's sad.
I know. Jeez. Hey, and I apologize. I didn't respond back to you yet, but I promise I'm not ignoring you.
I know, dude. I know you're busy. I know you're
My
busy.
Goon Beam flashlight, I don't see it, but I do
Dude.
have the freaking awesome case.
So I got one Goon Beam right here. This is my EDC, right? And then hold on, behind my computadora, I got my other pocket Goon Beam, and then I got a couple Goon Beams on my rifles. Those freaking flashlights are like incredible. Aegis, what's up, brother? Gentlemen, how are you?
I don't know what to do with it. It's around here somewhere.
What's going on, man?
Flashlights.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Yeah, I have the 110 Candela one.
I got one on the way. Woo!
Yeah, they're badass. They're very, very bright.
Yeah.
All right, everyone knows who Dark is. And then we have the Rogue Banshee, the master of the, I guess, the
Everything.
mean of JSD supply stuff. He's how I met Jordan, who therefore is how you met Jordan.
Me?
You know, it's funny when I had Jordan on the podcast a while back. I asked him, I go, how did you get so involved in 2A and stuff? He goes, I blame you for this. You introduced me to Crump. I go, dude, I just introduced you. You took off from there.
Yeah. So Rogue Banshee introduced me to Jordan, and then a couple months later, I'm like, hey Jordan, would you mind talking to Congress?
Yeah, right.
No, but yeah, so it's all Rogue Banshee's fault. And Tony, I have no idea I even met Tony Simon. I do know he made the Gay Street, but
yeah, we made it to Gay Street together, but I don't know, dude.
Dude,
I don't know.
I think there are some people that just like belong in the community, right? Some people just come in and they run a business, right? Some people just sell stuff, some people just buy stuff, but some people like just naturally become like part of the community. Like for an example, like I started the website selling jigs. You guys know that, right? DLD Hardware. And this is not just a plug, okay? As we're sitting here talking, I get emails from 2 customers, right?
Let's just see how long it takes.
Oh my God, are you serious? That whole time I was muted?
No.
Are you joking?
No, just I got an email from 2 customers.
Oh, okay. I was like, dude, I'm giving up. If that whole time I was muted, I'm just gonna back up. Anyway, so I got emails like while we were sitting here from 2 customers, because on every single package, whether it's the jig that's like PVC wrap, so it comes like this in the like I PVC wrap it with a heat gun, right? And then I write F the ATF and then thanks, right? People are like freaking out and they love those little notes. And if they're buying a product that's not like shrink wrapped in the PVC tubing, then I'll write it on like their packing slip. And I just got 2 emails that are like one is like first off, freedom. Secondly, thank you for your note. This other guy says hilarious clutch note you put on the receipt. LOL, love your company. It's just cool as shit. Like this is like a little community where like, if we don't do stuff like that, like we got to engage together. We got to flip the middle finger to the fuzz, to the cherry tops. Sorry, that's all.
To the fuzz? Wait a minute.
Fuzz.
I've been alive long enough for that actually to come back, as it were.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, see your coppers, your fuzz. Yeah, see?
Kappas. Oh man, I just like using crazy terms like that.
Yeah, I don't like the ATF either. In fact, I can't give this out, but you guys check the private chat.
Working with just kidding.
Jason said, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I can't believe
Dark, Hunter
Biden has another Hunter Biden has another laptop that they found?
Yeah, we're just messing with you guys out there.
He's got an iPad mini too?
It doesn't say anything.
Oh man, that's great.
Let me
Well,
explain.
the iPad Mini would have traces of Coke residue on it, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
They could have a desktop with 7 terabyte hard drive with Hunter Biden reading how we're gonna come up with COVID, shut down the economy,
Yep.
and make tons of money. Oh yeah, and we'll funnel billions through the Ukraine
Mhm.
for a war who've you seen more footage of World War I land battles than you've seen of Ukrainian land battles.
Yeah.
And they can
Yep.
read about how it's all fake and people won't believe it.
Yep. Yep. This is facts. This is very true. That
Tony's just making up all that stuff just for the in case the YouTube censors.
just
Oh
for,
yeah.
just for views, you know.
Yeah, that's all I'm doing it for. I'm doing it for lulls.
For lulls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tomorrow's
mean,
gonna be exciting.
we
Talking
know
about
that-
COVID stuff. Fauci is going to be in front of a subcommittee. And last time he went in front of Congress, he said, "We have no reason to believe, and there's absolutely no way this came from a lab leak." And at the time he said that, he knew it came from a lab leak.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So now they're gonna hammer him on that.
What are they?
But the thing
really
is,
gonna do
nothing's
to
ever going to happen to him.
No, but it's gonna be fun to watch Rand Paul go after him.
Oh, yeah. That pure entertainment value is all this is, because nothing's going to happen. I mean, let's face it.
Yeah, Mr. I am the science.
Yeah.
I am the science. It's such a joke, man. And I mean the saddest thing is that like there is, public information leading back from the year 2000 to the year 2015 where people like, the Rothschild family members and the CDC.
Oh, and here we're gonna get deleted.
No, it's legit.
I'm gonna get
it
a
is
strike.
legitimate information. I talk about it all the time. You're not going to get the strike, trust me. Oh, we were just taken off the air. Just kidding. No, where there's patents being taken out for straight up the novel C19, trials, testing, tracking, tracing, all that stuff for the last 22 years prior to the the juice being available. So it's just really interesting that
No, I'm not one to think that it was released on purpose. But
yeah, no, I don't necessarily think that the government did that on purpose to kill us.
Okay, how's this? I don't care about any of that. My science is this. During the Gulf War, I was in a nuclear, biological, and chemical unit. All right, we talked about how biological
superpowers.
Yeah, what was that?
How you get your superpowers?
Yeah, definitely. That's how I got my superpowers of logic. Because I was a computer programmer.
My hat made of plutonium, and I haven't got superpowers yet.
I was a computer programmer that volunteered for NBC because I thought that would get me into the Gulf War. Anyway,
he thought when he volunteered for NBC, he was going to go work for the television network.
With Brian Gumble. Yeah, I was going to work with Brian Gumble. What do you call it? That's how I learned how, you put on protection in an environment where you don't want to catch something like a biological agent.
Mm-hmm.
And you in MOP level 4 suits with charcoal suits and a full covered face mask. And now you're telling me that if that didn't work, I could take this piece of tissue, right? And 2 rubber bands. If my MOP level 4 suit was ever compromised in combat, all I needed was a beard diaper, a chin diaper, and I would be good.
I call them muzzles.
Well, when I came out with that, when I asked people that, they would look at me like, "Well, you're not a scientist." I'm like, scientists aren't the only ones who know about viruses and how they're transferred and about the size of molecules, because we had to learn that.
I really, really dislike that argument because that's like me popping in like some music, right? Like imagine me playing like some Bach for John Crump, right? And John Crump afterwards, I'm like, "What did you think?" And he's like, "Man, I just felt so moved by that." I'm like, oh, "You're not a musician.
Yeah.
How would you know anything about the? Like, come on, guys. Like, do you not think we have the ability to to study? Do you not think we have the ability to just most of this shit is just common sense? I mean, it's just, right in front of our faces.
Well, I was reading an article, and it was from it was from Vox, so that's probably the reason why.
It was from
But-
Vox.
But
Bach?
the guy wrote.
Isn't he the
guy
one that
wrote-
isn't Bach the one that sang "I'm a loser, baby"? So why don't you kill me?
Wah, wah, wah. I
In,
think that
in
was-
college, I worked his concert at a food stand to raise money for my fraternity, and before the concert, he was rollerblading around in the arena. But that's neither here. I know I was reading an article of Vox, and the writer of the article wrote, "Truth is subjective."
Really?
It's like I got into an argument one time with a nurse about these whole masks. I'm like, well, it's gonna filter, and I'm like, no. I went there. I go, if I were to fart right now, would you smell it? Right? And she's just like, what? I go, seriously, if I were to fart right now, would you smell it? She goes, well, yeah, probably. I go, that mask ain't doing shit.
Literally. Doo-doo.
Literally.
Well, actually, the mask
Yeah.
did more damage than good because we weren't exposed to much stuff. That's why the flu was so bad this year. All these other viruses have hit so hard because we isolated. So we lost a lot of immunity.
Also, well, the flu was gone for 2 years, so that has an
Exactly.
impact on
Well,
the
yeah, that's right.
percentages.
That's right.
Yeah, the flu was rested. It was resting up, getting its energy up. It had 2 seasons off. It was ready to go. It was
must have
watching
been-
Rocky movies.
Yeah, it's already.
Yeah, I want to see the new Creed. It looks so good. I love the Rocky movies and the Creed movies. I watched
Never
Creed
seen
2 the other day, where he fights Ivan Drago's son.
Really?
Seriously.
Yeah.
So now it's just going to be you fighting everybody's kid. So,
Yeah,
when
so-
they're going to fight Mr. T's kid? I want Jesse Smollett to play that guy though.
Oh,
every time somebody said Jesse Smollett, I don't think about Jesse Smollett. I think about Dave Chappelle.
Oh hell yeah!
I don't know.
Dude,
The black community, we didn't say anything. People thought we were against him, but
Day
we were
one,
for
bro.
him, 'cause we
Day
knew
one.
that he was lying.
Day one, when he said 2 white dudes in the middle of Chicago
That
like
guy
2 in the morning
yeah.
were walking around with a noose, I'm like, bruh. I
And they
was
knew who he
stationed.
was.
I was stationed in Mississippi in the 80s and was out, and no one approached me.
Yeah,
With a
right.
noose.
Yeah, and they would know who he was. Like they watched him
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah, they would know the gay son of the main get out. Never fart in a mop suit. Yeah, that's a self-correcting problem, and everybody's done it.
You only do that once,
Okay.
right, Tony?
Oh no, you'll do it more than once. You just tend to regret it every single time.
Yeah,
But you got a
time
mask on.
Jesse Smollett always makes me think of Dave Chappelle.
He
Yeah,
should.
That's hilarious.
Dude, I mean, sadly, there's no such thing really as shame in Hollywood for long term. It'll just go away if he gets a killer role. You know what I mean? If something comes up, because I mean,
Yeah.
Woody Allen should have been stoned out of the business years
He married
ago.
his daughter.
Oh, she wasn't his daughter. I mean, he raised her from childhood,
She was his adoptive daughter. He married her. Come on.
but he married her.
Hold on. What? What?
Woody
What?
Allen married his adoptive daughter.
Not only adopted daughter he raised from diapers.
Well,
I
you're
mean,
raising that
this
one
is,
up right.
this is real?
Yes.
Yeah. Damn, I didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
I knew something
Uh,
that Dark didn't know. Holy shit.
I mean, yeah, it's difficult, but it exists. Hey, I'll say the other. Okay, so like we make fun of Joe with Shooting Gallery New England, love the guy, but we make fun of him for like not seeing certain movies, right? Like he hasn't
Oh,
seen
yeah.
The Goonies, he hasn't seen like Die Hard or like Lethal Weapon
Or Star Wars.
or Star Wars. Like it's crazy, right?
I've never seen it.
But
He looks
somebody
taller than that. I don't know who Luke Skywalker is. Darth Vader. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, right. I've actually never seen a lightsaber outside of like Target. Like I have no idea what they look like.
Let me explain to him who Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker was a rapper from Miami, also known as Luke Campbell. That's all you need to know.
Oh my god.
He ran the two live crew.
He said we just broke dark. Yeah, that definitely did some damage upstairs. But I had a family member just the other day be like, "Oh my god, like the Hunger Games is one of the best series out there." And I think they were waiting for me to be like, "I concur," or like something, right? And I was like, "Yeah, I haven't seen any of them." They're like, "What?" Like, you know, they go on this whole thing, and I'm like, "Okay, all right." So because I do the same shit to all my friends, and I'm like, "You haven't seen the entire series of Peaky Blinders? Like, what are you talking about?" So, which is an excellent show, by the way.
Yeah.
I also just finally watched Stranger Things, but I am watching the first Hunger Games movie, and I'll be watching the other ones too.
Yeah, Dark.
Sorry,
Tony.
Roman Polanski is no different. Roman Polanski drugged and had sex with a 13-year-old girl, and then well, you don't want to get her pregnant, and then he ran away to France.
Yeah,
and people and actors and actresses have been going to France for the last 40-something years to do movies with a pedophile.
And France won't deport him because they say he's made a huge impact on the artistic community.
That's like saying that like human trafficking has made a huge impact on vacationing in Florida. Like what?
that's like, oh, Hitler's a great artist.
Yeah. Like, you know, Hitler inspired a lot of new firearm designs. And,
the trains ran on time, and yes, it's horrible.
Yeah, right. The trains ran on time.
That's actually the train fallacy right there, where you excuse someone of doing great evil because they did something good.
Oh, it's actually called the train fallacy. That's nice.
You made the trains run on time, even though you did all this evil stuff. So by you making the trains run on time, that should forgive all the evil stuff that you've done.
Yeah, sure.
True.
Um,
So there are a lot of passes. If you're famous, if enough people make money off of you, all can be forgiven. And what was the name of the actor? Really good-looking guy, straight teeth. Rob Lowe.
Yeah.
I call it a transvestite.
Oh, I'm not even talking about that. I was talking about the young girls who used to videotape himself having sex with back in the day underage. And that was a big scandal. And he just kept getting work. And now they're making jokes about it on his roast. And I'm like, you should still be in prison. Like, you should still be in prison.
But the thing is,
he was distributing.
Like he looked in the 80s.
That is.
What was that?
That is kind of funny.
He'd still look like he looked in the 80s. That guy does not age, right? Like,
there's a painting of him on the wall somewhere that's like 100 years old.
I think he's in the blood of underage.
Yeah, it's some Dorian Gray thing, or he's drinking the blood of underage girls.
I was gonna make a joke like that, but I thought that was too far. But I guess I'm in the right place.
Oh yeah, dude. No,
dude,
I don't talk like this on my podcast.
That's
Tony's
the
coming here to let loose.
Yeah, when you have people that like normally have like, you know, very specific message or very like regime like show or something, and then you get them on your show, and then it's like, whoa, like this is a whole nother line of conversation. But he was like a really big blow addict too. Like he was like giving blow to like 13-year-old girls.
We don't judge
him
lifestyle choices like that.
Never mind.
I'm not going that far. I'm going to punch brakes on that one. Freaking pull a little ripcord.
Well, I mean, I have no problem with do all the drugs you want, but don't give them to 13-year-old girls that you're, you know, sodomizing. Yeah. That's kind of where I draw the line.
Yeah.
Well, look at Michael Jackson with Jesus juice.
Hold on. What you shut your mouth. You shut your filthy mouth about Michael Jackson. That's the king. That's the king of pop. You shut your filthy mouth.
So he didn't do anything wrong.
No, what I'm saying is people like totally forget that the whole Jesus juice incident.
My
All the
issue with the whole
weird
Michael
shit that was going on with it.
well, my issue is the whole pass and the fact that, okay, well, what did he do? Oh, we're settling out of court. Wait a minute, how many people settle out of court? Like, has it just become a thing? You say Mike touched your kid and you get a check and nobody has to ask any questions. And then he drops dead. And all of a sudden, Oprah grows balls and decides to come through with like people. And I'm like, what was going to happen to Oprah if she would have like had this while he was alive? Like, you're Oprah. So I question stuff with this. That's all. Like, what did he do? What didn't he do for real? And what was a payday for people taking advantage of that?
I get that. I mean, we've definitely had some people. So John lives not too far away from where I grew up, and there's been people that have been accused of things that, like, I know, like with certainty, were not guilty. But once you're judged by society, it's over. You know, once that decision has been made for you, it's done. I mean, honestly, like, I'm gonna get crucified for this, but like Derek Chauvin, he was guilty before he walked into that courtroom. You know, imagine what would have happened to the world. And I'm not saying like he's guilty or innocent. I'm saying that the society made a call before he went in there, right? And what would have happened on that day if they had said not guilty, or he's walking, or it wasn't intentional, or whatever? And again, I'm not saying whether I believe he was or was not. I'm just saying that's an example of society making a call on a verdict before.
Yeah, the court of public opinion.
Yeah.
And again, depends on what you do afterwards and how long you live afterwards. And also, a lot of people are cowards. All right, dude's dead. I posted something with, I think, a reel with a Michael Jackson song on it or something. And someone was like, ooh, Michael Jackson bad. I'm like, he's dead. He's dead. You won. All right, whatever you think you possibly won, you won. He's dead. Doesn't mean I'm supporting anything, because no matter how many times I listen to Man in the Mirror, he is not coming back. So shut up. Just stop.
Getting back into people judged by the media, you can go to what is it, the Nick Sandman thing?
Yeah.
The kid that they said got up in the face of the Vietnam vet and stuff like that.
The guy who turned out not to be a Vietnam vet and was a con man, and
the guy that got up into the kid's face
and got into the kid's face.
Yeah. Funny how that works.
The only less genuine Indian in Washington D.C. was Elizabeth Warren. Oh, dude, it hit me, and I started laughing at my own joke before.
The sad thing is we knew where you're going with it.
Yeah, she's like, I'm 1,000th, or she put the DNA test out, so she was like 1,000th% of Native American, and the average is like 1/400th% in the United States. So she's less Native American than almost every other person in the United States.
Dude, can we talk about Earth Song for a second, though?
Woo! Earth Song, what is that?
Man, powerful. Sorry, what are we talking about?
What?
Tony, can you Earth Song, right? Like the original Michael Jackson Earth Song?
No, I don't.
Rogue Banshee, do you know the Earth Song? I
don't know Earth Song, man.
Crump, you don't know Earth Song?
I think you're the only one here that knows Earth Song.
Mom, dude, I'm just kidding.
What is in your vape pen there?
Earth Song. This is actually just nicotine and chemicals.
Sure? The chemicals are mescaline.
What about sunshine? What about rain? What about all the things they said today?
Sunshine? Ooh. No, y'all don't know Earth Song. Oh my God, I thought you guys were all joking. Crump, you don't know this either?
You know who got judged by? No, we don't know it. But you know who got judged by society?
No. Well, hold on. Are you willing to get a copyright strike over this?
No.
It should be okay. All right, never mind.
Go, because it's Michael Jackson. They'll take your video down.
They'll take your whole channel.
Yeah. They will not only they will give you a hard strike for Michael Jackson stuff.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Dude, there's some. Oh, like for an example, anything that is Sony or anything that is what's the other one? The big studios.
Paramount?
Paramount. Okay, so Crump was like, "Yeah, play this South Park thing, this skit." Never had a problem with it. I played it 1,000 times. Right? I play it. They literally removed the video, and then they said all what do you call it? Monetization is being forwarded to the owner or whatever of the copyrighted stuff. And this is like a 30-second skit, right? And then they wouldn't even allow me to go in and remove it or change the audio or anything.
Yeah, they've done the same thing. I looked into it. Michael Jackson's one of the artists that they've done that too. So
yeah.
So no, but
does no one know Earth Song? Where am I? Where am I, guys? No one in chat. Can I get someone in chat that knows about it?
I'll tell you where you are. Let me get your address out.
Go ahead.
Let me explain something to you. All of us are older, and we listen to the actually good Michael Jackson albums, not the later stuff.
Dude,
so
you know what album that was on? That was on what?
History. The History album, right? That album?
Was it?
I think the rest of us stopped listening to Michael Jackson right around Thriller.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it was Thriller.
I've never really even listened to Michael Jackson.
Earth Song was from 95.
Dark's young. But
dang, yeah, man.
You know who got judged by society
I was like 10.
before his trial, but he won his trial, but subsequently after his trial, he kind of proved he was guilty.
Zimmerman?
OJ.
Oh,
He went to trial, then he wrote a book. I didn't do it, but if I did it, this is how I would have done it.
Okay, understand. I don't think OJ did it. Now, the reason I don't think OJ did it
G-Web for the win. Sorry.
It was not because anything OJ did was in court. It was for the thing he did afterwards when he wanted to go get his Heisman Trophy back, and he took two dudes to a hotel in Vegas on camera and stuck dudes up at gunpoint and took his house. I'm like, that is not a criminal genius. Who did it?
Yeah.
Well, OJ and these two dudes who are on video who stole OJ's Heisman.
No, I mean, I think he definitely did it because you know what Chris Rock said about it?
What?
Chris Rock said there was so much evidence at the scene they could have found the Heisman Trophy in the bushes because that's how guilty he was.
That's funny. Did you know if you take your cursor and wave it over the like button up top, it tells you who has liked the video?
No.
How crazy is that? It's probably really far behind.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like my content. So did you guys?
Do you know if you hit the like button, there's a chance that YouTube might send you a check for $5,000?
I heard about that, man. That's crazy.
It's like every other person. So I think,
but only if you hit the like button twice.
No, you hit it once, and then if you hit the subscribe, you get a
three
bonus.
times. 3 times.
3 times. Oh, 3 times. That's right.
Yeah,
3 times.
yeah.
It's got to be
Like,
an odd
only
number.
Yeah. It's got to be. You could hit it like 9 times. You know, kind of like.
I think OJ was just a horrible criminal, dude, and I find it funny because the OJ did. It's not who did it; it's the fact that the lawyers were so incompetent that they couldn't convict. So if everybody's going, "Oh, I know he did it," that's great and all, but
Ooh.
you watch the system fail, and this is what Black people have been telling you a long time, forever. And then y'all finally get to see it. If you have money, if you have connections, you can just walk out of a court after committing murder.
Or if you say something that rhymes on a televised,
It was beautifully done. That's how you mount a defense.
Oh,
And,
keep it on the glove.
The glove.
It's not fitting.
Yeah.
And then you muddy the waters. But
He's
also,
like this.
let's not forget, it just wasn't all that. It was It was the feeling in LA about the LA police themselves. So it was easy to muddy the waters by going, hey, this dude's a racist, this dude's this. And people were like, you know what? OJ going home tonight.
Yeah. The thing is that I agree.
This is the same. Yeah, this is the same LA.
Were there's an extraordinary amount of racist. Dark just like punch out. He's like, I'm gone. See you guys later. Peace. There's an extraordinary amount of racist in the LAPD. Sorry. All right. Sorry.
What the hell?
But I don't know what Dark's doing. But it's like, does that mean that that he's innocent? No.
Well,
No,
there's another person.
LAPD and the prosecutors, all of those failed, but they were more decades of failure prior. And it was highlighted how much they suck. And do you think a dude got away with murder? Well, it makes no difference. He was not guilty.
I'm sorry. It was the biggest orchestrated Ford commercial in history.
Nice. I wasn't even in this country when that happened, and I got to watch it.
Were you in
But
France?
I was in Japan, and I got to see LA riots and that whole thing from a different perspective because I was overseas living off base.
LA,
and surrounded by Japanese people who were friends of mine who were looking at it with an American as I'm watching it too. So there's no, preconceived what the heck is going on. I'm like, I think one of the realest questions or one of the things that made me realize something, because, living overseas in an environment where you're surrounded by people from that country is different than living on base and being surrounded by Americans from the same culture.
Yeah. They
So
kind of suddenly go, oh, Godzilla.
well, that's happened, but that's neither here nor there. So, and one of the first things they said is, "What is a Black American?" Like, I'm sitting in a room with me, my roommate, and my housemate there, and some Japanese girls, and they speak English and they're watching American news because they don't. And they were like, "What's a Black American? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're just Americans. We don't separate you."
Dude, I wouldn't even know if I wouldn't even know of the riots of April of '92 if it wasn't for Sublime.
Yeah, I was about to say the one good thing that came out of the LA riots was the Sublime song, April 1992.
Yeah. I'm
just
being real.
That's not the only good thing that came out of it. One, can't we all just get along? There was a meme before there was ever a meme.
That's a good point.
Yeah, we got in Living Color, who got to do the Fire Marshal Bill post LA riot, who went gangster on the crowd because they were shooting at firefighters. So he opens fire on them, I think, on what, Fox? Was that on Fox?
Yeah.
So we got a lot out of it. But it was really interesting being overseas doing the whole OJ thing, too.
We got roof Koreans out of it.
We got roof Koreans out of it, which is really important.
Yeah.
Well, I wrote a little poem about the whole entire thing.
No,
yeah,
you
about to get demonetized.
Chat GPT write a poem about.
No, April 26, 1992, there was a riot in the streets. Tell me, where were you?
That's
Were
beautiful.
Were you sitting home watching TV while I was participating in some anarchy? The first spot we hit was the liquor store. I finally got all the alcohol I cannot afford. With red lights flashing, it's time to retire. And then we turned the liquor store into a structure fire.
Dude, that AI needs to be monitored.
No, that's not AI, dude. That's a Sublime song.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the? Oh, it's just read terribly without rhythm. Okay, that makes sense.
Totally.
I didn't want to read it with rhythm, or you would get what I was doing.
Yeah. You didn't know that? Yeah, I own that album, dude. I was listening to him just massacre that thing.
That was back when
Next time we hit the remix shop. It only took one break to make that window drop.
That was back when albums, when you could take out the cover and open it up, and the lyrics were inside. Oh my god, that was the
There were
dopest
also
thing.
when albums actually had more than one hit song on them.
Yeah.
And by the way, you know how hard it is to read lyrics without trying to
Sing them.
get yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was funny though. I'm like, why is he reading the lyrics to the song?
Is Crump admitting he was in a riot in LA?
I joked her right before. I honestly did.
Well, look at the difference,
Oh
like
my
the
God.
polarizing times, right? So like we had you know, the riots were longer than April 26th, right? But that was when things just went nuts. We had an entire, like I would say close to 2/3 of the year where we had constant riots, and it was just like, yeah, I mean, you know, it's you know, light protesting. They all have
Mostly
permits,
peaceful.
mostly peaceful.
Mostly people protesting.
Yeah, I mean, I was blown away, and I cannot tell you how many people that the year or two or more prior were like, "You own a gun? Like, dog, I build them. Like, oh, that's what I do, right?" And like that's kind of my zen. And a year after that, they're like, "How do I get a gun? How do I get a gun? Why do I have to wait for a gun? You voted for that. Yeah, but I need a gun." Like, you know, people just don't understand how, you know, their vote impacted their ability to purchase a gun. And that also got a lot of people into building and printing because they couldn't find shit for a reasonable
Mhm.
price.
And you know how hard it is, again, for somebody who does what I do, which is welcome people in the community who maybe never have owned a gun before or maybe were even anti-gun,
Yeah.
to not stand in front of a room full of them and go, "I told your ass, I told your ass."
I can imagine. I-
Dude,
I
like-
worked I worked at a gun shop during the Sierra Hotel craze during Obama. And man, that hook was super sandy, and ARs were going for $2,000 and up, $2,500. People would come in, just be like, "I want that." Okay, you want the AR, and I want that in AK. Go through the paperwork, do everything, and they're like, "Okay, now I need bullets." Like, "Okay, here's this, here's this." They buy bullets. Then they're like, "Okay, now are you going to show me how to use them?"
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy. That was perhaps one of the craziest times because people were, I think, way more dependent on the traditional firearm transaction because building wasn't as popular.
Well, I mean, take that forward through the COOF.
Mhm.
Everybody was building because you couldn't leave the house. Gun stores were not, you know, open.
Yeah.
So order parts, build what you got at home, and or print what you need at home,
Yeah.
and protect your family.
Yep.
So, by the way, in the private chat, I've had Chat GPT write a rap about the LA riots.
Oh my god.
It
We gotta start
won't
doing this
spit a
now.
verse out about a gun, but it'll write that.
Okay, should I spit this? All right, loop that. I'm just kidding. Create a rap about the LA riots. Verse 1. Listen up, y'all. Let me tell you a story about the LA riots. When the city got gory, it was back in 92. That's
Yeah,
sick bars.
Is that a haiku? What is that?
I guess so.
it sounds like one, doesn't it?
Tensions were high. Racism and police brutality. Maybe it's spoken word. The reason why the beating of Rodney King caught on tape for 4 cops on trial, but they got off with no debate. The city erupted. People took to the streets. Anger and frustration. They couldn't be beat. Chorus. There's a chorus. LA
Yeah,
riots.
of course.
Burning up the town. People screaming, police nowhere to be found. Buildings on fire.
Yeah, that's where I ran out of characters.
All right. Here you go. I asked Chat GPT to write a poem about me. Write a poem about John Crump. John Crump is a voice of the gun, a defender of freedom, second to none, a writer with words like bullets, strong and true, a champion of the Second Amendment through and through. With pen in hand and heart of steel, he fights for the rights that we all feel. A true patriot or warrior of the page, a journalist unafraid to stand on the edge. Page and it doesn't really rhyme. He covers news with a keen eye and never hesitates to call out a lie. With passion for truth and justice bold, he seeks to uncover the stories untold. John Crump, a hero of the gun, whose words will live on when his work is done, a legacy of liberty and the right to bear arms, a defender of our rights and freedoms. He brings the calm. His writing, a beacon of the light in the dark, a testament to his passion, his heart, and his spark. A defender of the Second Amendment, John Crump, a writer, a patriot, and an inspiration without end.
You definitely wrote that.
I did not write that. That is definitely ChatGPT.
That just has me laughing because I remember growing up and people telling me anybody can rap. Nah.
No,
Nah.
it's a special skill.
All you have to do is rhyme some words together. Yes.
See.
And all you have to do to be a great chef is get food and add heat.
All you have to do is mix some ingredients together. Dude, there's so many like other levels. Like really, really good MCs have like crazy syllable work that rhymes shit that you would never even imagine to be
put together
associated.
ideas that would blow your mind.
Yeah, like I mean, even going back to like someone like Big L. Big L was like so ahead of his time, like lyrically, all the way up to like even Eminem too. Eminem was nuts at that time.
Eminem is freaking
one of the guys, because I was never in it. Look, dude, I just want to hear the beat. I don't really care what it has to say. If it says something cool, fine. And then I discovered Razkaz, your favorite rapper's favorite rapper, and it was like he was putting together thoughts and things and would have you laughing. And it's like, where the hell did that come from? Like, what? Like, how did he do that? And where's that going? And then it goes to a totally different place, and you find yourself laughing.
He's so talented, he can rhyme orange.
Yeah, right. He rhymed orange.
There are some dudes out there that can do some work with orange. I don't know if you guys are familiar with like Immortal Technique or like Army of the Pharaohs or Jedi Mind Tricks. Like some of those guys, like some of the underground stuff is like way beyond most of the like commercial hip hop is, well, commercial, right? So some of the underground stuff is just like I've never heard of Razkaz. I'll have to check him out.
This is from the 90s, early 90s, late 80s.
That's where the best rap lives.
I thought so, but you know, it's just you get to a point, you age out. You age out. You age out of some stuff. You stop listening to modern stuff after you hit your peak of whatever. You might hit the peak and then you listen to stuff on the way down and go, this stuff kind of sucks. I'm bouncing. And that's what I did after a certain time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm never like too specific on like genres. Like I'll listen to anything, right? Like I'll listen to hip hop, I'll listen to, you know, rock. I actually grew up on like metal and rock and whatnot. Like when I was like 8 to 10, I was having my brothers and dad play like Vulgar Display of Power and like, you know, Iron Maiden and, you know, Pantera and, you know, Iron Maiden, Metallica. Oh my God, Ride the Lightning. Holy shit. Like that.
Metallica's old. Ride the Lightning, Injustice for All, Kill 'Em All.
Yeah.
Master of Puppets.
Yeah. Which also, all those titles lead me to believe that they're all incredibly based, like as far as like Injustice for All. Right, like the I don't know. They just kind of seem like they, you know, were similar up here to us.
They definitely are. They still are.
Yeah. Rapper's Delight.
Yeah, Rapper's Delight. Hey, yep. The funniest thing is listening to dudes in prison rap because you can tell when they got locked up from like their flow. So I won a unit one day. They were like, "Yo, where's so and so?" It's like, I don't know, man. Every time he comes in here and raps, he's like a hip, a hop, a hip and a hop, a hip hop, but don't stop rocking. I was like, my man's been locked up since the 70s.
Yeah, since before it was even called hip hop. Like,
Yeah. Dude has been locked up since that was like, I don't even know what they didn't call it hip hop. They didn't even call it rap music back then.
yeah, I don't know what I mean. I think originally, like, it kind of evolved from hip hop to rap. I don't know. I don't know what else has been called, but like,
Oh, actually, I guess it was called rapping back. Yeah, it was called rapping, but
Yeah.
rapping was like, it was rapping. It was not. It was not like rapping is an old term. Like I heard it used back in the 40s.
dang.
So, yeah.
So a lot of people use that term as just having a conversation. Like, let me
Yeah.
rap with you. Like,
Like
I remember-
W-R, not R.
I don't know. I don't know if it's rap or rap, but I know
Well, it was a conversation. Yeah, it's one of them older terms, like scuttlebutt and haberdashery,
right?
a fisticuff.
Dude, I swear, like, so the 90s, like Nas was incredible, man, like that. But it stops at like from like Illmatic to like Godson, and then anything after Godson, I just can't co-sign at all. And then
Artists have time frames. Like
Yeah.
there is very few artists, regardless of the genre, the last 20 years. Like very few. Very few last a decade. Like one of the only people that you hear of whose name is recognizable is like Smokey Robinson.
Mm,
Like who lasted decades, who was still putting out. Lionel Richie, who has hit songs in 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, 2010. Like very, very few artists have that longevity.
yeah, that's true.
That's
And a
mostly
lot of
'cause
these
they die
guys-
from the drugs.
Well, some, but not as many as you think. They just fade
Or
away.
they fry their brain out.
Listen,
I-
cocaine's a powerful drug, and if you partied through the 60s and the 70s and you made it to the other side, James Brown, understand James Brown started making music right after World War II.
Wow. See, that's the other thing too, is like I'll sit back and I'll listen to James Brown. Like I'm an 80s baby. I'll listen to James Brown. I'll listen to, Al Green. I'll listen to any music that just it's I don't know what it is. I can't call it exactly, but it's like there's something like it's got to have like a sound. I don't know, because there's also songs like that my daughter asked to listen to where I hear it, I'm like, damn, that's some good shit. Like this Princess Elsa knows what's up,
Well, I for me, the ability, like I listened to Metallica back in the early 90s. That got me introduced to Metallica. Before that, Hell's Bells got me introduced, to AC/DC back then. So I was a little more open to music only because I came from the country and we had like 2 stations and nothing was a black station. You could only hear the black station at night after other stations went off. So there wasn't that interference.
Damn.
And it was past my bedtime, so I couldn't listen to it because as a kid. But satellite radio gave me that opening, that window to be able to listen to other genres of music without having to do a deep dive. Like, changing around on a radio station, the commercials kill it for you because they have the commercials. And I don't care about the Ford, sale. But if you could just listen to uninterrupted, like this kind of metal, this kind of country, this kind of hip hop, and that allowed me to open up the different things I want. So I ended up going to, even prior to that, I went to the second Woodstock, which was awesome.
You should have went to the third one.
No. The second one taught me every lesson I needed to know. There was no need to go to the third one. I looked at the guys at the third one and went, wow, y'all netted up. We should have burned the place down too. They deserved everything they got. Sorry, but it was exploitation to the max, and they deserved everything they got. And also,
At the end
What's
of the third Woodstock, they handed out candles. Oh, 100,000 candles for candlelight visual.
when they and back in what 92 or 90, what year was the second one? 95,
94.
94, yeah, 25th anniversary. 94. They were charging $15 for a small Domino's pizza. I think it was like $9 for water this size.
Mm.
And they made you throw out all your food, all your water, everything to get into the place. So you couldn't bring. Oh, and they had the state police lined up and had you dumping your bags at the entrance. Yeah. So if you walked outside, you just got pelted with drugs and food and water. Walking outside, it was just flying over the fence. It was just flying. As you watch it, it was the funniest thing in the world. It's one of those things you wish you could be in two places at one time, because they get us through the cattle thing, right, going in, and the line's just weaving, and you're a fence right beside the road. And people went, yo, the state police are going through bags. And as the word got going around the room, and I mean going down that line, you just see stuff going over just all the way.
See, I would want to slingshot it over the fence. You know, like I just need it in there. Like
by the end, Budweiser supposedly, or somebody said it was Budweiser, just pulled up a tractor trailer to the side, and dudes were throwing 6-packs of Bud off the back of the truck into the crowd.
Wow.
Because they'd gotten that out of hand. That supposedly they had 1 million people. I have no idea. I was right in front of the stage. I'm actually, if you pull up the Entertainment Weekly edition of the second Woodstock, I'm in a photo. I'm in a Green Day video. That's how close I was to the stage.
Oh, nice.
That's crazy. That's how like Nissan Pavilion, I guess now it's Jiffy Lube or whatever, but that's how that was, man. Like
Jiffy Lube Live.
Yeah, I guess like people forget that they're gonna get searched when they're coming up in there, and you see like pocket knives just like skipping across the ground, and like, you know, joints getting dropped and shit. Like, I mean, you see people trying to stuff shit in their pants, and I'm like, dude, were y'all not prepared for this? Like, what's going on? Like,
it's funny because back when I was a kid going through concerts, there was no searching. You just gave me a ticket and you walked in.
Well, that's what it's
no
like when you're living in America in the
of course it was nightmare. It was off of Broad Street in Philly, so you know,
dude, it's crazy to live in this place where there's just so many lies that are mostly told inside and outside of the country. But like, I have never seen so many people from outside of the country comment on videos that are like, so Rich did a video on a folding AR-15, and there are like hundreds and hundreds of comments of people saying like, I could never understand what it's like to live in America, living in fear every day of a mass shooting, to where you'd feel like you'd need something like this. I'm like, we don't live in fear because we have foldable fucking AR-15s. What are you talking about?
Well, it's funny to me because it always is people from a country that did way worse shit than ever happens in America.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, oh, I don't understand Americans. And I was like, well, you would if you were one of those colonists you guys exploited for about 500 to 600 years. Yeah. See, if they would have had what we have in America, they would have done what we did in America and throw your corny ass out. See, that's why we have folded ARs. So pieces of shit like your country don't come here, take over, and exploit us, and then apologize hundreds of years later and act woke about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what it used to call a slave with a gun?
Harry comes over and talks shit about the First and Second Amendment. It's like, go the fuck back.
Yeah.
You know, the last time somebody talked shit about this from your country, well, there was a war about it.
Yeah, it didn't end very well, dude. It's the same thing where like the reason that we have stuff like that is because bad guys can have it and good guys can. I would much rather have, you know, some good guys rolling around with some long guns or some, you know, sidearms or, you know, whatever. And yeah, I get it. Like, freedom is dangerous, and General
Whenever a
Safety.
European say, "Oh, now you guys have guns. Oh, aren't you afraid of living in fear?" I just say, World War II, you're welcome.
Well,
Yeah.
dude, so Flying Rich actually responded. Somebody was like, "I live in Britain, and I could never imagine, Americans having guns like this." And he said, "You weren't saying that in 1945." It's like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Oh no, by 45 they were complaining about us being there again. 1941 they were just begging us to show up.
Yeah, yeah.
So
sure.
it's one. I don't care what people
Sure.
in Europe think. Stay there. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
We need to stop listening to them. Understand the founders of this country understood what a shithole Europe was. And they understood how to stop them from taking this place over because they did all the hard work. They made all the sacrifices. Many of those people who signed the Declaration ended up broke after it was over. They didn't sign a
All the
fake
time.
name. They didn't use 6969 sniff panties as a screen name. They put their real name down there. All right. So they had something at risk.
They were signing
So-
your death warrant. They would
Yes.
yeah.
And they sent it to the freaking king, bro. They didn't just do random stuff. They didn't send it to the governor. They were like,
Yeah.
"Pfft, here, right
Hey,
here.
bitch, this is the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
And John Hancock and people make jokes about John Hancock. They don't understand. He financed the revolution. That's why his name. He paid the bills. He was like, "Shit, I'm cutting the check. I'm writing my name big as hell. Y'all gonna remember me." Meanwhile, everybody goes, "What kind of asshole wrote his name that big?"
Do you know why he wrote it that big? Somebody
Because-
said the king has a hard time reading, and he wrote his name big and goes, "Well, I guess he's not going to have a hard time reading this."
Right, John Hancock.
I thought it was because he financed like half a dozen privateers that took down fucking countless throbbing hearts of tyranny. But
Yeah.
I'm sure
Again.
both,
John
Yeah.
Hancock, the founder of Big Dick Energy.
Well, he wanted to make sure the king would not have an issue reading his name.
That's
the
awesome.
king had issues reading.
Nowadays, and look, this isn't to throw shade at anybody, but nowadays a lot of us in the community are, publishing videos wearing masks and shit, and saying that we're fighting for. Yeah, I'll stop
Okay.
there. I don't want to.
Hold on, no, I'll go ahead and put it out there because I don't give a shit. You can wear a mask, you can do you. You fight however the heck you have to fight because you're still fighting the fight.
Mhm.
So I give it a pass because sometimes maybe you're not ready to pay that price. Now I went into my job working for the dude I criticize, as a state employee, that it could end badly for me. I'm aware of that. I'm aware of the risk that I could lose the job that I got just for the medical benefits to keep my wife alive.
Mm.
Yeah, some days is like, yo, what the frick am I doing? And it's like year 8 and I'm still going, what the frick am I doing? But I'm doing it because I think it's that important. Other people lost a hell of a lot more than I have. And you don't have to go that far back to see. And believe me, I'm not comparing myself to these people. I'm just comparing what real loss is or what real attacks are, is when they bomb your house.
Yeah.
When you have to sleep in different places, when you have to send your family away. I don't have to do any of that. So I'm nowhere close to being that amazing. But there's a fight that needs to be fought. And if you can fight it with a mask on, fight it with a mask on. That's still better than a whole bunch of people sitting in the chat talking about how, you should do more and the NRA should do that. And I'm like, well, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Nothing.
And that's what
That's-
drives me nuts is the keyboard warriors there.
That's
It's
what I was gonna say.
Yeah, we're out there putting it on the line, and it's just like, oh yeah, you should do this. Well, fucking pick up your phone and film a video about it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love when they tell me what my content should be.
Yeah, my next move is going to piss off the ATF. A lot of people in the ATF more
You're
than
adopting a puppy?
more than I ever pissed off the ATF ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Godspeed, my friend.
Yeah.
Hope
I
you make
think,
it through the other side, buddy.
Yeah, I think a lot of us do things that, like, we know there may be repercussions for. I was just having a conversation with my parents today, because my mom always says I don't call her enough, and we're sitting here talking, and she knows what I do, and and I talked to the GOA about, like, having the website with jigs. What I'm doing is totally lawful, but I know the ATF may still come after me or whatever, and I know some of the things that I discuss on my channel are a little risque, like explosives and stuff, but if I feel like I have to be doing something to fight towards our natural rights, and even if it's this little thing with this little community of people, like, as long as there's something that I'm doing that feels like there feels like there's some progress, then I'm content. Of course I'd like to do more, but I didn't mean that to sound like I was saying anything negatively about those. It's just more so the people that are always going to critique and judge, criticize what you do, when their fighting is watching the videos that we make.
Yeah, that's
No.
yeah. I've had
Yeah.
that. Oh, you should do more. Okay.
Two of the Americans that were taken, that were kidnapped in Mexico after crossing the border, were returned to the U.S. and 2 are dead. The cartels released them. They, whoops, wrong people.
What?
The cartel, they killed
Yeah,
2.
and Brown, yeah. These
killed 2, but sent all 4 back.
Cross the border, and all of a sudden, the minute they crossed the border, like right on the other side of the border, their car got lit up. Pickup truck pulled up, threw the 2 of the bodies in the back of the truck, threw the 2 that are still alive in the back of the truck, and took off. And
There
it
were
was
5 of them.
no, there were 4 Americans.
There's 4.
Oh, I thought there was 5.
4. So 2 of them were dead, and the other 2 they released, and they were like, "Our bad, sorry, wrong people."
Wow.
See, I it gets on my nerves when they try to blame violence in Mexico on the American firearms owner.
Well,
They
I was wondering if the guns were from the Fast and the Furious that lit that car up.
That's the first thing that came to my mind.
But,
well, it makes no difference if they are. It makes no difference if they are. The guns from Fast and Furious are traced directly to the death of Brian Terry,
Yeah.
U.S. Border Patrol agent, and nothing's done about that. And the head of the what's his name?
He was
the Attorney General.
Eric Holder.
Yeah, Eric Holder didn't even testify if he didn't want to, and I'm like, you have an American law enforcement officer dead because of the firearms you allowed to go across the border. How do you trace firearms? Even the whole idea of it, were you going to put an AirPod on it?
It was a deal. It was a deal. Just like it was a deal to leave all those guns in Afghanistan. There was something struck without our knowledge, and it's always easier to make it look like something occurred by mistake, or it's always easier to make it look like something was, a strategic plan to benefit the people, right? Come on, it's such horseshit.
When you leave 600,000 small arms in the country,
but my AR-15 is a problem.
Yeah, as they're actively trying to pass, there were so many. They had national bills that they were trying to pass that were all high capacity mags, assault weapons based. They had the Virginia shit they were trying to pass, and then they're like, whoops, we just left all of these, not only actual fucking machine guns, right, AKs, ARs,
Blackhawks.
Blackhawks, planes.
Yeah, they had actual destructive devices like missiles, and they had grenades, grenade launchers, and then Blackhawks. And I'm like, night vision. They left thousands of tubes out there. These aren't, how they always say oh, these are dudes in bathrobes with flip flops and AKs. Not anymore.
Not anymore. They're gooned up.
Yeah.
Well, I was watching a video from over there after he left, and some Taliban guy was trying to fly a Black Hawk.
Oh,
Oh,
But-
I remember that.
But
I
he,
remember seeing that.
he apparently just got in and it's like, I'm gonna fly this.
Dude,
Never
he has some
freaking
brass
probably been in
ones
an
about this
airplane.
big.
yeah. It's not a Corolla, dude. Like
Yeah.
you need a little bit more experience.
Well,
Crashed
listen.
it. It's like, what are you trying to? Apparently, the good dude never flown a helicopter before, never flown in a plane.
Yeah.
Just whatever.
That's because you missed it. You missed the intro of the video. My name is Muhammad. Welcome to Kabul, and this is Jackass. I'm gonna fly.
Jesus.
I'm gonna fly a helicopter. See, you just came in on it.
Oh my god.
You got Wee Man. That's a good idea, dude. Let's do this.
Oh my god. That's
Oh,
terrible.
God,
Yeah,
that's
but I don't know if
funny
you've
shit.
seen that video, but
No.
the helicopter just goes up and it goes like this. It goes. Like,
I would do it. Don't act like you wouldn't do it.
I would
Hey.
try to fly that shit, but I would
Yeah, there-
immediately be like YouTube looking up.
There's a whole
how-
military base over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they just got all kinds of abandoned equipment on it. Want to check something out? Yeah, I'm gonna put my inner meat in Neo. I'm getting in there. Teach me to fly a helicopter. YouTube.
Yeah.
yeah, you think you try to
I
drive
mean,
a
first
tank
of all,
or something.
It's a
Helicopter
big
might be
feat
a
that
little
he
bit.
even got the engine started.
It's not like
I
it
mean-
has a key with a rabbit's foot
Yeah,
hanging
right.
from it. and you
I mean,
just start-
how did he went in there. It's not like you just go start flipping switches and the shit just starts
Yeah,
up.
but
I mean-
you know what I think happened? Somebody he didn't like him said, "I'll start it for you. I'm gonna go over here."
Oh shit.
There's always that one friend, right? There's always
Yeah.
that one friend.
Let
Hey,
me
dude,
start it up for you.
do you think I could
Your
stick this
boy, it's so
sparkler?
simple. Like, anyone can do it. Like, can
You think I
can
could
do
stick
it?
this sparkler up my ass and run around the room with it? I don't have a
Is your
lighter.
life insurance
There you
paid
go.
up?
Yeah. You know what? I'll help you.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
on the phone. Hey, bro, we don't have to worry about Muhammad anymore. He was about to try to fly a helicopter. How
yeah.
did you start
Yeah.
it? I started it for him.
I started for him. I gave him
Did
the
he say,
basics.
"Here, hold my beer"?
Nice. Here, hold my tea. Hold my
Hold
tea.
my beer. Hold my tea.
Broken Bullets is saying that CRS dropped a spicy video today. I was not aware. I'll have to go back.
He was probably pissed, man. I would be pissed too.
I don't know if it was about that, so I don't know if we should bring.
I released a video on it.
You
He
did?
was okay with it. Yeah, what they did.
I'm not
CRS
in the
has been
know,
fighting-
so
yeah, it is about that. CRS has been waiting for trial, and his trial is supposed to start this month. And then the ATF said, "Oh, we're going to file superseding indictment and restart the clock. We'll see you sometime next year."
It's funny that they call it a second superseding indictment when
time.
they've done it 4 or 5 times. Like this is
Fourth
crazy.
time.
Well, okay. Now, this is what I truly believe, and it goes back to when I used to watch Howard Stern, and he was talking about the FCC. They know they'll lose if they get to court.
Yeah.
Their power
Yeah.
is in frightening people to never go to court. And I
Yeah.
think this is one of those cases where they're going to lose.
And the process is the punishment, right?
Yeah, so this is the fourth time that they got right down to the trial's about to start. Superseding indictment, the clock restarts.
They're taking time, energy, money, right? They're draining his resources. They're using it as an opportunity to, fear monger to other people and but via proxy. And there's also one thing that I'm nervous of that I probably shouldn't say on camera, because then I may be giving them a tactic if they're too stupid on their own.
Don't worry about it, then. Don't even say it, because you never know how actual stupid they are. We just started this whole conversation off talking about how they lost the OJ case. So
Yeah,
don't assume you have legal geniuses involved.
yeah,
Remember,
right.
if you're really good at something, you don't go into government work to do it.
Facts. Oh,
All
God
right.
bless America.
All right. Well, that is it. By the way, the Federal Trade Commission is investigating Elon Musk communications, which is Twitter now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So now they're going to investigate.
Yeah.
Now they want to look into it. Okay.
Broken Bullets. I'll reach out to him. I'll give him a call. See if we can find him. He's been going on a journey. So
Just say that. Just leave it there. All right, guys, that is it. You can follow me at John Crump News, John Crump Live, read my stuff in Amaland, DLD After Dark. Go DLD Hardware, just Google that. It'll pop up something. DLD After Dark on YouTube. He sells jigs.
Get jiggy with it.
Hey.
Getting
Oh,
jiggy.
jiggy.
Watch that shit.
You got Tony Tony
Savant?
Simon.
Yeah.
Savant. Tony Savant. Whoa.
Really? Where?
Diversityshoot.com. Simon, the Simon Says Train, right?
Yeah, Simon Says Train on Instagram. Simon Says Train on Facebook. The second is for everyone on Facebook. The second for everyone on Twitter. Also, I'm the largest pound for pound firearms instructor in America. 2A4E podcast is your favorite podcast app.
And the Rogue Banshee. Go ahead, Rogue Banshee.
And on YouTube, I am the Rogue Banshee. I occasionally do videos on gun content.
Banshees for females.
What's that?
Banshees for females.
Is
You don't know how he identifies.
It's okay, man. It's a modern society. We don't judge anymore.
Yeah.
He could be a Hershey.
I identify as a machine gun.
Yeah, that's right. You see, you go machine gun. I just identify as a gun. My
Identify
pronouns
as a
used to be
diabetic.
gun/guns.
Yeah.
I identify as an overweight diabetic. My pronouns are gon' die soon.
My pronouns
Yeah,
are
so-
she/it. She.
Instagram. Since I got locked out of my Instagram account, it is now the Rogue Banshee Media. So that's where I'm posting stuff out there. And you can just Google me and you'll find it. It's not hard to find me on anywhere, because especially certain letters from Congress.
Yes.
Yeah. Also true. Great. Thanks.
You said
Have a good
Rogue
one.
Banshee Media?
The
God
Rogue
bless you all.
Banshee Media.
Okay.
God bless us, everyone.
Epstein didn't kill himself. Am I the last one here? Is it my show now? Do I get to run things? Oh, this is awesome. This is my big break. All right. If you guys really want to help us out at the Second is for Everyone Diversity Shoot, you can go to diversityshoot.com and donate. I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. I got a few seconds. This is free. All right. Have a good day, guys. Watch us on Firearms Radio Network later on. Gun and Gear Review Podcast. See you tonight.
I guess it's my show now. Check this out, man. John's having so much fun with this. Definitely go check out my webpage, drb.fyi, and the YouTube channel, The Rogue Banshee, and check out the Instagram at The Rogue Banshee Media. And he still has no idea what see, John talks about how much he knows technology, but sometimes I wonder about him because, I mean, he does things like this. And you don't want to leave. Oh, hey, Tony, it's our show now.
Yes, the inmates have
this out.
taken over the asylum.
Yeah, we definitely have, man. This is kind of funny. I wonder how long he's going to sit out there and just. He's probably gone. Oh, there he is. He's back.
Hey, so let me tell you what I did with John on Gay Street back when we were. Oh, damn.
Oh my God, that's just funny. Well, was it legal?
It was
Or was it-
100% legal. Matter of fact, he had such a good time doing it. He called his wife while we were on Gay Street and regaled her with stories all the way back to the hotel about our Gay
Oh.
Street adventures.
That's funny as hell.
So no, the funny part was listening to a woman that's really well educated, like trying to entertain her husband only because he thought it was so funny that he was on Gay Street with another dude, and she's like, she's just like Yeah, okay, I get it. Gay. Yeah. Like she didn't say anything, but it's like the long-suffering wife with a dude with a juvenile sense of humor. Yeah. Yeah, no, Tony's just this big black guy, and we just were on Gay Street to get gay, get it? It was gay. Yeah, I get it, John. I get it, John. So anyway, the kids.
Oh my god.
That was
That's
the
basically
greatest.
how it happened.
It was the greatest.
Just wait until he sees the replay of his own show at the end. Oh,
Oh, that's it.
and now it's us. All
Is
right.
it us now?
It's us
I
now.
guess don't forget. You just remember you have to go and check out DLD Hardware. Okay, it's really important,
Yeah.
especially if you. Paul
Yeah.
Randy.
And now it's gone. And just remember, DLD Hardware meant 9 out of 10 gun builders goes to DLD.
They highly recommend
Oh.
it that everyone check out dldhardware.com. Oh,
Now he's just messing with you. Anybody
Yeah.
that speaks.